Good evening. Today's talk is about the overshooting of the carrying capacity. That means overpopulation, overload in an habitat. COVID-19 outbreak is a siren or warning signal to humanity to check on their own population growth. I think humans have overshooted their carrying capacity of the habitat, that is planet Earth. So that is what many scientists are thinking. And 7.5 billion people on this fragile planet is not sustainable. That's what the scientists say. But many people disagree, especially the religions. The monotheistic religions, they disagree. No, planet Earth is big, and we can even bring 10 billion people, and the planet Earth can sustain all of them. But the scientist and religion always, they are in conflict. But anyway, let us not enter into conflict, and let us discuss about whether it is true that we have overshooted the carrying capacity of the planet Earth. So let us examine. Populations that reproduces without limits will grow exponentially. That is, the population will grow faster and faster as each generation multiplies. 2 children will produce 4 grandchildren, 8 great grandchildren, and so on and so forth. Without limits, it is estimated that a pair of rats could have 20 million descendants in 3 years. In 3 years, mice can produce 20 million small mice. That is their descendants. It's a good thing that in the real world, there are always limits. Earth will never be overrun with mice, ivy, spiders, mushrooms, or even humans, because each will eventually run up against challenges to its basic needs that will limit its population. If you don't do that on your own, usually there are built-in sensors in each organism. If you don't listen to the instinct, you are forced by external controllers. In this case, COVID-19. He is an external controller. He comes now and he tries to fix the overshooting of the carrying capacity. When a population grows until it gets as large as its habitat can accommodate, that habitat is said to have reached its carrying capacity. Carrying capacity is the number of individuals that the local resources can sustain. Actually, overshooting I can explain with an illustration. I'm going to just demonstrate it shortly. A population that draws down its resources faster than they can be replenished naturally is heading for a run-in with the carrying capacity of its habitat. For instance, I want to illustrate with a small demonstration. Let us say this is a jug of grape juice. Let us imagine. Actually, I put tea inside just to give a color. But imagine it's a grape juice. So it's a vat or a jug. Uh, for instance, yeast introduced into a vat of grape juice will initially thrive and reproduce wildly. Yeast will reproduce faster and faster. The yeast, however, will eventually consume most of the sugar in the grape juice. The yeast job eats sugar, consume, and multiply. 1,000 yeast, 2,000, 2,000, 4,000, 4,000, 8,000. And they demand more sugar. And sugar gets depleted from the grape juice. So as the sugar gets depleted, alcohol and carbon dioxide levels will then rise dramatically. This is how it turns into liquor, because the sugar content is eaten, consumed by yeast. So thereby their waste is turned into carbon dioxide and alcohol, creating conditions that no longer allow the yeast to thrive. They have poisoned their environment, in other words. All the yeast in the jug or in the vat will then die. Imagine this is planet Earth. Planet Earth. And here, humans are introduced. And you multiply 1,000, then 2,000, then 4,000, 8,000, 16,000, 32,000, and billions. And you consume all the resources, water, air, food, habitat, everything. And at last, everything is empty, and you devastated planet Earth and its resources. And then no longer we can live in this habitat. All the humans in this habitat will then die because we have overshooted the carrying capacity of the planet Earth. So actually, the example of yeast in the grape juice is a good example for humans to learn and copy and paste in their lifestyle, in their mindsets. So we learn from nature. All wisdom comes from nature. Remember that. Individuals in a population that has exceeded the carrying capacity of its habitat may have poor health and suffer from malnutrition because of the compromised living conditions. When this happens, the weakest individuals may die, or the population as a whole may become more vulnerable to further environmental stress or disease. Sometimes a large number of individuals in a population die as a result of overshooting the carrying capacity of the planet Earth and of their habitat. This is known as a die-off. This is known as the die-off. Today we face die-off. Many humans die, unfortunately. It is sad. I feel very sad about it. But we have created the die-off. That is what we need to understand by overshooting the carrying capacity of the earth. Pope Francis, in his encyclical Laudato Si, he talks about it indirectly, about the overshooting the carrying capacity of the earth. In paragraph number 46, he is talking about the decline in the quality of human life. That is the words he is using. In other words, die off. We are dying off because our quality of life is declining day by day. And it is leading all of us to die off symbolically. So I would like to read this paragraph from Laudato Si, paragraph number 46:4-6. The social dimensions of global change include the effects of technological innovation on employment, social exclusion, and inequitable distribution and consumption of energy, other services, social breakdown, increased violence, and a rise in new forms of social aggression, drug trafficking, growing drug use by young people, and the loss of identity. These are signs that the growth of the past 2 centuries has not always led to an integral development and improvement in the quality of life. Some of these signs are also symptomatic of real social decline. The recent rupture of the bonds of integration and social cohesion.